Mr. Steele, as chairman of the GOP, isn't that exactly what you should be doing as someone who is fundamentally opposed to big government, deficit spending, and reckless reform packages from the Democratic Party? Welcome, sir, to America's Morning News.
In a word, amen.
Yeah, amen. All right.
If I can put a stake through the heart of this thing, it'll save Americans a lot of pain and agony and frustration in years to come.
You made a lot of news this week, sir, and we've got Melanie Morgan here with us, by the way.
Melanie.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
When you said that Barack Obama's health care plan represented, in its your words, socialism.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the move that that the administration is beginning to take, and you understand what the underlying principle of socialism is. It is government control of the means of production. In this case, it's the government control of the means of providing health care to the American people. It is inserting itself into the very fabric of the decisions that you will have to make every single day. It'll make the Terry Schiavo case look like a walk in the park. You know, you're going to have meetings and committees of government agencies and bureaucrats making decisions as to what kind of health care you get, when do you get it, how long you should get it, and God help you if you're over a certain age or have a certain type of illness. The rationing of health care is very much a part of the mix of this program. The president last night, I don't know what he had a press conference for. I'm still waiting to find out because, like the Sotomayor hearing, I didn't learn anything new. He didn't say anything differently, and I guess, well, maybe he did. Now we have an insurance problem. It's not a healthcare crisis, or we're not trying to solve that when it's now about insurance. What is it, and how much is it going to cost? And why can't you come forward and just tell us straight up that, yeah, the government's going to be making some decisions for you because we think we know best?
When people months ago said that they want Obama to fail, isn't this health care program exactly what they meant?
Yeah, I think in terms of the policy, I mean, no one, let's, be clear. Rush, everyone else didn't say they want the man to personally fail, because if he fails, we're all failing. The policy is the problem here. It's not about the personality. It's not about the president. It is about the policies he's espousing. It is about the direction he wants to take the country. And it's about the fact that he's not coming clean with us. I mean, you cannot sit there and tell me that we have to spend trillions of dollars to save. I mean, how do you do that? There's not a household in America or business in America that's in debt that says, the only way we're going to get out of debt is to spend more money. I just don't see the rationale there. So
twice during a pre-Obama news conference, we heard from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who insisted that under this health care reform plan, that everybody will be able to keep their health care plan if they want to. But that simply isn't true, is it?
No, it's not true. And let me tell you how and why it's not true. Because what's going to happen, all right? On the surface, the president is absolutely right. You will be able to keep your health care program as long as your employer has you in it. Because what's going to happen is going to come a point very quickly that the employer is going to realize that gap between what you pay as an employee and what he has to pay as an employer, the government's going to pay that. So you're going to offload your employees to the federal government. And when that happens, you're going to get kicked out of that nice, program that you like, that's your job, into a single-payer program that's run by the government. This is how they backdoor their way into single-payer universal health care. The government won't do it. Your employer will do it because the government will be incentivized. The government will incentivize your employer not to pay that cost. In addition to all the other costs that are going to be attendant to this program, that's one where the employer figures he can save. He's going to offload you. He's not going to pay your health care when he knows the government's going to pay it for him. Would you?
No.
No.
Business owner, would you pay your employee's health care if you knew the government's going to pay it? No.
Yeah.
So this is how people are going to get moved off of what they have right now into a program that's going to be single payer government-run program.
All right, we're interviewing RNC Chairman Michael Steele this morning on America's Morning News. And, sir, I'm a little bit confused this morning. We've got House Speaker Nancy Pelosi today insisting that everything is smooth sailing with the House bill with regard to the health care. But then you've got Mike Ross, the Arkansas Democrat, one of the Blue Dog Democrats, saying, no, I don't think they have the votes. Where do you think they stand on this right now?
Well, this is the thing, John, that I'm most amused about. I watched the president last night basically, say that we're Republicans, we're the roadblock, we're the ones who are preventing this, we're the parties stopping this. Wait a minute. You got 60 votes in the Senate, boy. I mean, you got double the number in the House. we're not stopping anything. Heck, we're not even at the table to negotiate the deal. The problem he has is within his own rank and file. The Blue Dog Democrats have now been put on a hook. They got to pass on the cap and tax bill. All right. So Nancy said, "All right, all you guys, you can vote against that bill because we think we got the numbers." They don't have the numbers in the Senate for cap and tax. All right. So now that's a problem for the Senate Blue Dogs. Now you get to health care. There is no cover here. There is absolutely no cover because so many of them came out so early, so hard, so fast against these proposals that now they're having a hard time being forced back into the corral by Nancy Pelosi and the president for that matter. So the reality for the Democrats is their problem isn't a Republican problem. Their problem is a Democrat/Blue Dog problem because even some of the liberals are saying, I think this is a little bit too excessive.
Senator Tom and Dr. Tom Coburn of Oklahoma has told us on this radio program, America's Morning News, if this bill passes, more Americans will die than be saved. Do you agree with that statement?
I not to fall into the realm of hyperbole and overstating it. Yeah, I think there's a real high potential of that, and it goes back to what I just said. The government is going to wind up rationing health care, and it's going to say to certain individuals in this country, "I'm sorry, you're too sick," and for us to spend the money to try to make you comfortable in your last days, or what we think will be your last days, is not worth it. And so, yeah, I think there's a real potential there that a lot of Americans who otherwise would be saved, if you will, or at least be able to live comfortably in their health condition, won't be able to do that. And I think that's a real fear and a real concern.
I think it is a fear. I do think it's a concern based on what we're hearing from outside the Beltway, and we always have to keep that in mind. A lot of Americans don't want a bureaucrat telling them who is going to pull your kids' tonsils, when they're going to pull them, and, hey, sorry, you don't get a second opinion on that. And, hey, that's one of the lesser dangerous surgeries there is. I want to ask you, sir, before we let you go, the future of the GOP, both congressionally and looking ahead to 2012.
Well, what I've been doing, I've been traveling around the country and working with the House and Senate leadership, certainly at the federal level, but with a lot of our state legislators in grooming candidates who can actually get out, John, and talk to the American people about this issue of health care, talk to them in a common sense way, and connect their values to the policies that they're espousing. In other words, don't get up there and start throwing numbers around and seem, detached from the problems that people have. Let's focus on the concerns they have and offer some common sense solutions. And I feel really good about the candidates that we see going into the 2010 elections. I think the president is making it easy, if you will, in creating an environment where there's stark comparisons between where we want to see the country go economically and in its health and where the Democrats want us to go. And I think we're going to have candidates to speak to that. And the American people right now giving us a second look. And I want to take advantage of that opportunity and have something, not just say we're different, but to say how and why and what we will do in being different.
Hey, very quickly, sir, did you get those taxation without representation tags on your DC vehicle yet?
They're on my car, baby. They've been on for about a month now. Yes. And I, again, invite the president to join the rest of us in the District of Columbia, particularly of us native Washingtonians. Let's empower the people here. Put the tags on.
All right. Mr. Steele, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it very much.
Guys.